Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. It's very, very kind of you to join us in this launch of our book, Volume 1, The Quest of Rose, part of the sequence of the Future Humans Trilogy. And we're so happy to be with you. Anneloes and I have never met. How do you like that? She's on the island of Mauritius, and with the pandemic, she can't get off. I'm here in Ashland, Oregon, but somehow, even with that and our daily, we just created a kind of metaphysical knowing of each other. And but thank you so much for being here. It is such a great pleasure to see you all. So, Anneloes, you want to say something? Hello to everybody.
Very, very warm welcome, everyone. It's just such a delight. Jean and I have been envisioning this day, for more than a year, almost a year and a half. Often she would ask me, close your eyes, go into your cosmic mind. And what do you see in the day of the launch?
We write the book in different states of consciousness when necessary.
Exactly. So to now be with all of you here and see this day manifest is just a great joy. So Jean, back to you, and then I'd love to hear from Peggy.
Yes. Well, I'd like to introduce the Mistress of Ceremonies, who is my great friend, essentially my sister. And we have been working together as partners in this work for almost 4 decades. We were just young things when we began. Remember, Peggy? So Peggy, do you have any words for everybody? Peggy is also a very great Shakespearean actor, as for many years was one of the heads of the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, is a wise woman and is a wordsmith and an evocateur through language of the higher spirit that we all contain, and yet is more and more is so ready to come forth. Peggy?
Thank you, Jean. What a true delight to be present for this occasion and to have this opportunity to be with everybody on it. And always amused by the way Jean relentlessly sees her friends and the people she works with in their future selves, actually. None of us could ever live up to what she sees or how she sees us, but we're grateful for that. I wanted to begin this morning with what came to me as a sort of blessing and beginning word for this day, because it feels to me that everyone who is on this call would understand and be part of the first few lines, at least, of this little poem by Rainer Maria Rilke, in his Love Poems to God, his Book of Hours. The translation is by Anita Barros and Joanna Macy, who have this brilliant new translation of it, a recent translation of it. But these are the words that apply to all people gathered here today, and all who touch the people who gathered here today. And they are. Rilke says, I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world. I may not complete this last one, but I give myself to it. I'm circling around God, that huge tower. I've been circling for thousands of years. And the poet says, and I still don't know. Am I a falcon or a storm or a great song? And it feels to me today that the people who gathered here have been circling and circling with beautiful, embracing circles around the world. And those circles have intersected and created wonders and created, I hope, a net of possibility and hope all together. That we're here together to do that and to participate in that becoming, that beautiful becoming. I also would like to acknowledge that in the great widening circle that we all live within and that each of us sends out with generosity and praise and joy, It is the feast day of the Saint Mary Magdalene, a woman who lived 2,000 years ago, who lived widening circles and who embraces us still today with her healing power and her wisdom. So on this special day for her in the Christian world, and for all the world really, for what she stood for and how her story has changed and been revealed through our own lifetimes, how we've understood her in deeper sweetness throughout our own lifetimes. So praise be to her. And praise be to the two of you who have listened for the new story. Jean has been listening for aspects of the new story as long as I've known her. And Anneloes, that shining pillar of being that you are, have somehow come together in ever intersecting, widening circles that embrace not just the world, but the cosmos. So thank you both for what you have created. And thanks to all of us for being here and witnessing it. So would you like to tell the story, Miss Jean, of the new story?
Thank you, dear Peggy. As usual, you are luminous. So I want to first just very quickly thank all of our friends and many allies for their incredible support. Special thanks, which I'll give separately, to Lynne McTaggart for her beautiful foreword, to Diane Nichols for her extraordinary editing, Denise for her painting of the cover, the Oxygen Publishing Company, Carolyn, Steve, Philip, Linda, for their very acute support, Patrice for the illustrations, Justine for your wisdom and help, and all the amazing, angelic, I mean, in physical form, people who have supported us in our book. Now, I'd like to tell you how this happened, how this book happened. Now, I am very pro-dog, as some of you may know. I mean, I was literally raised by a dog, as you can tell by the way I do my hair, collie, part collie. And I am very dog, I love dogs, I trust dogs immensely. Well, one day, my very large golden doodle, she was quite ancient at the time, and she kept going over to a rug in my bedroom and pawing at it and pawing and pawing. Habibi, stop, come on, no, you don't have to do that. Pawing, and pawing. I figured she's got a mouse. I went over there, I lifted it up, and there was a scientific paper written by Anneloes Smitsman. It was about how the future activates and patterns the present. I said, whoa, that is right up my alley. I've been studying the nature of time, past, present, future, which we now believe is simultaneous. Somebody has a handle on how the future is activating the present. Whoa. And I looked her up and I realized that she had been trying to reach me, but I get hundreds and even thousands of emails because I have a reputation as a nice public person who really tries to answer and be helpful. So everybody writes to me, and generally with a request. And she'd been writing, sending me glorious papers, of which one evidently fell on the floor, got under a rug, and my beautiful dog, and it was her last great gift to me because she died a couple of months later of extreme old age. This was her great last gift. So I got in touch with her, and we discovered that we were really on the same page with regard to science, human development, the nature of reality, the nature of the cosmos. So we knew that we had no other choice. There was no possibility of our meeting. The pandemic had come, and we went to work and started working on with this very interesting book that you are all about to read. So Anneloes, how would you share the story?
Thank you so much, Jean, for sharing our story so beautifully. Yes, and as Jean said, once we put our minds and our hearts together, it was like a larger map unfolded and revealed itself, which was really amazing. Because the reason why I've been contacting Jean is because she talks so much about the possible world and the possible human. And I had just gone so deep also, just completed a PhD research on systemic transformation and how can we co-create a thrivable civilization. So when I had been listening to her talks and seeing her work, I thought, this is amazing. We're asking the same questions and imagine what becomes possible. And I had done a very powerful dream a little bit before that, which actually showed me in a kind of in a flash, if our two minds and our hearts would meet, that a larger knowing and a larger possibility would open up. And yes, so I sent email after email. I was about to give up. Said, you know, universe, I do know that Jean loves dogs. So just find a way to reach her, because I don't know how to do that anymore. And it seems the universe listens very, very well, in sometimes the most unexpected ways. And then when we started working on our book, and we understood that to just share these insights kind of dry wasn't going to land. So we felt it needed to be in a story. And it shouldn't be a story about us. It should be a story that everybody can relate to, with characters that almost live like archetypes within us now, but the archetypes of a new time and the archetypes of a new era. And at the same time, characters that are so fundamental that they're timeless, and hence the name Rose. She was born because she's the main character. She is a young woman in her mid-20s, coming from all kinds of cultural and heritage backgrounds. And she, in the story, she studied as a biologist, but she loves stories, and she's always looking for everything that's hidden. And she was working in a bookshop in the story in the Netherlands, and then got very ill with COVID. And then she goes through a near-death experience where she starts to then see the kind of fundamental reality of life, and starts to see what Denise Kester, the beautiful artist of our cover work, painted here so incredibly. So what she starts to then see is the larger cosmic architecture of life, and how it lives within us, and how it lives within the universe, and how we can call this forth for the rebirth of ourselves and the rebirth of our world. So as Jean and I started to work and allow these characters to have a life in our life, and to have a life in our hearts, and a life in this work, more and more characters started to unfold and to come. And just, it's really been as if we are in a movie ourselves, really listening to what are they telling us, and what is this revealing about this very, very unique time. I'll tell you one really funny story, and then I'll bring it back to Jean. Now, this book truly has a life of its own. And the book is as stubborn as Rose and as determined to create pathways that we often think are seemingly impossible or don't exist yet. So even the way that we brought the book into the world is very uncommon. We didn't take the usual publication route. But what happened at the last moment of birth is very, very revealing. So as we had uploaded all the files on the back end of the software, there is one option for a proof print. And as I was kind of working on all the engineering behind the scenes to make sure it could come into the world in the right way, there was a button there, and it says, do you approve for the proof print? And the intention was that the proof print copy of our book was going to go to Jean, so she could look at it, because I'm all the way in Mauritius and it takes forever to ship the book here. And then after she'd seen it, we're going to go for worldwide distribution. So when I got the message, are you ready to approve the proof print? I thought, okay, seems fine, right? Felt something funny in my stomach, thought for a minute, is that really the right button? I thought, oh, well, what else could happen, right? So press the button. A few hours later, I noticed that another button, which was called Enable Worldwide Distribution, disappeared from the screen. And I called our friends at Oxygen Publishing and Steve. Steve, that button is no longer there. He said, yeah, because you enabled worldwide distribution. I said, really? Okay, right. So I talked to Jean and said, it seems that the book really wanted to be born because it's gone worldwide. And we'd been told, don't worry, it will take some days before it shows up on Amazon. So we still have time to test everything. Next day, it shows up on Amazon. It starts to climb up very, very, very fast. I said, Gina, I can't believe it. Look at that. It's starting to climb. But this book really wants to be born and wants to come into the world. And that's when we started to quickly tell all our friends, please know it's available for pre-order. And before we knew it, it just launched amazingly. And it became a #1 bestseller on Amazon in several categories. So there's an energy within this book that catalyzes us. And we believe that that energy is the energy of our future human potential. So what we are experiencing in the writing of this book and how we are bringing it forth, and we see ourselves really as stewards of this story, is an energy that you will be probably starting to experience in your own life as you start to work with this book. So Jean, back to you now so that you can introduce our lovely Lynne.
Well, it really is a working book. It's a book that engages you at the very, your mind, your body, your spirit, and your lure of becoming, because we have come to the conclusion, Anneloes and I, that with all the problems, the breakdowns that are happening, the dislocations, the wrongness in our world today, it really will take another kind of human, a human that already exists as a latency in ourselves, you know, just like we emerged from a little tiny dot, the fertilized egg, that little tiny dot, and that then unfolded, had the codes for the full human being. We also deeply believe that we live in the time of the latency, the latent dots that lie within us, that are the activating energies for a new kind of humanity, of which many of you, all of us perhaps, participate. And I want to thank Lynne McTaggart, the marvelous Lynne McTaggart, who I've known for many, many years, who is someone who writes of science and spirit and soul and cosmology and energies of every kind, and who is putting it back together again in a ways that are as magical as they are real. In her wonderful books, many of you know her as the creator of the Intention Experiment, in which people get together. I belong to one of those groups all over the world, to heal, to hope, to pray, to co-create. All I can say about Lynne McTaggart, who wrote the foreword and who is with us right now, oh, Lynne, I want to be you when I grow up. Lynne McTaggart, would you come on, please?
Oh, thank you, Jean. It was such a delight to work with you and actually to meet you, Anneloes, because we had never met or corresponded, and I didn't know really anything about you. So one of the delights of doing this forward was finding out more about what you've been up to. Now, Jean and I met back in 2008, I remember. I got invited the same year to be part of the Transformational Leadership Council and then the Evolutionary Leaders. So in one 5-week period, I met every hero of mine in the world in either one of those groups. And one of those heroes was Jean. So Jean, right back at you. I want to be you when I grow up too. But I think the moment we met, I just felt like Jean was my big sister. There was such a connection and heart sense and mind sense of something similar. Now, I know Jean probably inspires that in pretty much everybody who is on this call. So, you know, I think one of the things that I like about Jean is she is a spiritual nudge. She figures out what you're supposed to do in the world and keeps at you until you do it. And I think that's probably one of the things that's so interesting about this collaboration. And I'm sure she did a bit of that to you, Anneloes, too. She saw your potential and said, you do this. So she's a divine teacher as well as an inspiration. So first I'm going to talk about her and then Anneloes. And I kept meeting up with Jean through Evolutionary Leaders and occasionally the TLC, and just kept being astonished by the breadth of work she did. We even got to her house, my husband and I, and our youngest daughter, who was extraordinarily impressed by the building, I think the mummy sitting in the main, in the living room and everything else. So I have just watched.
Mummy case, not the real mummy.
Mummy
Mummy
case, yes, and everything else in that marvelous house. So I've just followed Jean and cherished. I even went to one evolutionary meeting just to be there because I knew she was going to be there. So I have cherished this friendship, but more I've seen in Jean's latter part of her life, this urge to get out there and do something. So in a way, this is probably, as she said to me once, this is the most important project I've done because this is the most important time to do it. And now in meeting Anneloes, so we talked, we corresponded in putting together this foreword so I could get to know you. And you have this amazing eclectic background of knowledge and information and research and work that has been really stunning. And your science background really melds fabulously with Jean's exploration of the mystic. And I think this coming together is such a fortuitous partnership. But I've been so impressed with all of your work and also Anneloes in saying, you know, it's time to do something. It's time to do something. We have to do something or we die. And so that is the call, the lure of the becoming that you're talking about, Jean, and you're talking about Anneloes. You know, this is not the time for any of us in the last third of our lives to sit back and put our feet up. This is the time to dust off those placards, to get involved, we have to be central to the change going on now. We are all Jedi Knights. You know, there's a big Death Star out there in many, many capacities. And it's really important for all of us to be involved, to become conscious, to learn to be a new human, to learn to lead the way in being a future human. So I think what's wonderful about this book as an allegory is it's a signposting of some of the things we need to know about the new ideas about what the world is and who we are in there. The ideas now, the new scientific ideas, certainly that I've explored, Anneloes has explored, Jude Currivan, who I see, my pal over there, Jude, hi, who have explored on the very frontier of science. That tell us we're very different from what we've been told. The world is very different from what we've been told. And if that's so, that changes everything. That changes how we're supposed to live. So this is meant to be a guidebook for that. We need to create a new story, but we also need to live that new story. And so I really urge you to read this book and follow the quest of Rose, because it's all of our quest now too. So congratulations to both of you. And I just feel blessed to be friends with you both, having been involved in a tiny way with this project. And I look forward to seeing the other two books unfold.
And really, we haven't said that, but it was a very big way that you were involved, because we sent you the very primitive, more barbaric version, the first version. I think it was all 900 pages, so we had written not just a book, but a doorstop. And it was going in all kinds of directions, and you saw it and you gave us advice that was pure pearls from heaven that helped us to create and recreate, because all books are not written, they are rewritten. And any success of this book, we owe so much to you, dear friend. Thank you. Now, Peggy, you're going to introduce somebody.
Yes, I am. Thank you for that. And thank you, Lynn, for those wonderful words and for your own incredible work that opens us to possibility and hope. Oh, thank you. Thank you for all your translations of science into possibility for us normal people, ordinary people. Thank you for that. And I wish I could say that she will be with us in actuality, but she won't. One of the shining lights of our town of Ashland, Oregon, is a woman named Diane Nichols. She's a fabulous writer, a beautiful person. And to this morning, she is sick. She is ill and is not able to be with us, but she did send this word, which I have the honor of reading. Anyway, she's sending her love as she really wanted to be with us, she says. I was overjoyed and honored to work with Jean and Anneloes on this brilliant creation of theirs. I fell in love with the characters, and Diane is a wonderful playwright, so she understands the nature of how to create characters. They are the exact kind of people I like best. Curious, eager to learn, intelligent, loving, and supportive of one another. These are the future humans of the new earth, and here to share their amazing interconnected journeys with us, offering us effective strategies, processes, and information for navigating our own journeys in this epic time of transition. This positive, uplifting guidebook is exactly what we need right now. Perfect timing. I sincerely hope you will enjoy meeting these fascinating people and sharing their powerful story. That's from Diane Nichols, this wonderful woman. This is a powerful group that has gathered here. And it is a healing day. There is a healing spirit working in the world today. So could we, for just a moment, send healing, not just to Diane, specifically to Diane, please, but also to all people suffering in the world in this moment. Just some sense from your heart of the possibility of healing, of making whole again. We're very grateful to Diane. Thank you. Holding that healing power, moving. So, Diane says she fell in love with your characters. So why don't you and Anneloes share a little bit of Rose?
Well, we have selected this very small section, just several minutes, to give you some idea of the interaction of the characters of Rose and her grandmother, Verdandi. So, ready, Anneloes?
Yes.
I'm playing Verdandi, she's playing Rose. Tell me, love, what is it that you've been conjuring up about the universe since we last spoke? And remember, the universe isn't always a calm place. I wouldn't want to be consumed by a black hole or explode like a supernova. I've never been much of a diva, not even a cosmic one.
You're so funny, Grandma. Well, perhaps calmness isn't then what I need to focus on, but maybe presence, like real presence that's grounded in awareness. Since that talk that we had about the archetypal structures of reality, I've been wondering, what is space? What's time? What's energy? What's matter really? What if darkness is the foundation for light? And what if darkness is the experience of gravity? And light is the experience of timelessness. What if black holes are like the womb structures of our universe for creating new universes?
So very wonderful questions, Rosebud. I love your curiosity.
Thanks, Grandma. I feel such a burning desire to understand these fundamental questions about the nature of reality. Sometimes the burning is so strong that it's almost like a fever.
Well, let's put that fever to work, shall we? Everybody here, become feverish, enter a different state of consciousness, all together now. Now remember that our minds are like stargates. Our bodies are alive with mysteries that invite us to enter into the cosmic body, the cosmic mind, the cosmic spirit of the great mystery. The universe lives in you and through you. Feel it, this universe. You are not an encapsulated bag of skin dragging around a dreary little ego. You are also a universe. You are the great child of the universe. Evolution, your evolution is followed by involution, which is the process of going inward, through which we discover that our bodies are cells of mystery that give us keys to the emerging phase and purpose of our existence. Through this creative partnership, you are developing with the universe and the earth herself your deeper calling and destiny. It is activating in you now. I feel this growth, this energy, this activation, and you're discovering the tremendous resourcefulness and wisdom in the vast ecology of inner space. You see it, you be it, you live it, you are it. You are now discovering how we can be active and creative citizens in a universe and an inner verse that are richer than all previous imaginings.
Oh, wow. This I can feel. I love that. This is so much more exciting than just living a life designed by others or simply to pay the bills. Oh, Grandma, I just wish that everyone could discover this and experience what we just went through. Thank you.
Oh, yes, love. This is the world of a new time. I would go further. This is the time in which we are on the eve of a renaissance. You know, often the great renaissances of history were preceded by pandemics and total breakdowns, you know. But this is the eve of renascita, renewal, regeneration, which also includes the possibility for a renewed spirituality, a higher sense of purpose. Now, the problem is, of course, that we were educated for the demands of a very different time and culture. But we are now called to unlearn the old demands of the different time, to unlearn the old ways, to be re-educated. Oh, my dear, we have such vast resources within ourselves. We haven't even begun to tap them. To meet the many, many new challenges that confront us, we have no choice. We have no choice but to enter into our greatness. We must democratize greatness and utilize the whole continuum of our human and divine potentials. Not only is this possible, it is what is expected of us. Now, indeed, it may be that for which we've been created. Your newly developing states of consciousness can provide you with such valuable information, ideas, discoveries, feelings, profoundly new ways of being and knowing. The cosmos is ready to help us. Yes, the cosmos is ready to help us. But we also need to be ready to receive and apply its guidance. Your inner work is essential right now.
Yeah, right. That inner work. I feel a little bit nervous about that, Grandma. You know, I've gone through so much since we've been doing this inner work. What else am I going to discover about myself? What kind of inner work do you have in mind for me?
But it's actually the kind that ignites your sensory, your physical senses, your mind, the totality of your body, your spirit, your essence, to a new order of possibility, the fullness of you coming into a new time, a new way of being. This is an essential step, the next step in awakening to your new life's purpose.
But how? You know, when you say it, it all sounds so easy and so beautiful. What can I do right now?
Practice self-awareness, awareness of yourself. And when you have that awareness, as you grow in it, you find that you are part of the actual self that is the universe.
That's all? Really? That's all? Okay, well, you have an exercise for that?
Oh, I have one, I have got 2, 3, 4, 5, but for everybody else listening in, read the book. That's where they are.
Thank you. And that brings us now to our beloved friend, Jude Currivan. And Jude is an amazing cosmologist and a futurist and a healer. And Jude and I have had such incredible conversations over the years about the universe as a cosmic hologram and her brilliant book. And I learned so much from Jude to really understand the informational dynamics of reality. We published several articles on this as well. And the conversation between Rose and Jude that's in the book is an actual conversation. So this is the conversation that Jude and I had. So her words that are in the book are really her words. This is not fiction, this is real. And Jude has also an incredible mystical understanding of the universe itself. So Jude, are you with us? We'd love to hear from you.
Well, thank you, Anneloes and Jean and Lynn and everyone who's had such an amazing, wholehearted, whole-souled service to bring this gift to all of us forward. So thank you so much. And it reminds me, I mean, Jean and Anneloes are master storytellers. And this is our new story, but it's our new ancient story. It's our evolutionary story. And I've just written my next book called Gaia, Her Story.
Oh,
And
wonderful. Congratulations. Wonderful.
Thank you. But it seems to me, looking back, that we've always told stories. We've always told stories to give ourselves a deeper understanding of what it means to be human, who we may be, what our role in the world is, and meaning and purpose of being here. And I love the quest for Rose is part of an evolutionary story that is the story of a universe that doesn't just exist and evolve as a unified entity, which leading edge science is now discovering, which of course is what universal and ancient and indigenous wisdom teachings always told us, but which the more recent stories we've told ourselves have lost. We've been telling ourselves stories of separation and materialism. And now these new ancient stories that are so beautifully encapsulated in the quest for Rose are coming forward. And they're showing us that we are co-creative microcosms, partners in the evolutionary impulse of our universe from its very beginning, nearly 14 billion years ago, which I know we all say, you know, have said was a big bang. It wasn't big and it wasn't a bang. It was the first moment of an incredibly fine-tuned, ordered, intelligent, universal story that we are a part of. So I'm just thrilled and delighted and congratulate Jean and Anneloes and Lynn for your remarkable, wonderful foreword, and everyone involved for literally bringing this gift of wisdom and lived wisdom, because this is what I really feel is important. This is far more than understanding. You're offering us way showers to experience and embody our future human possibility. So as we stand together on the bow wave of our universe's evolutionary impulse, I applaud you, and I'm so grateful that we're all here together, linking up and lifting up, because this book is not fiction. This book is an imaginal cell, it's an imaginal organelle, it's an imaginal emergent organism that is showing us the way to embody that on personal and group and collective and Gaian and cosmic level. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I have heard so many glorious things about you, and I knew Jude, what you were like, but I didn't know you were on fire with such love for the universe and Gaia. And so I thank you for your work and for your inspiration to these friends of mine named Jean and Anneloes, and all the work you've done to inspire us all about the true nature of life and universe and evolution. And I'm also going to introduce now, or ask to speak now, two dear friends, Alexander Schieffer and Rama Mani, two major heart-filled workers in integral understanding and in speaking for the heart of humanity. They are founders of Home for Humanity, and it happens that last Christmas they received the working papers of this book, and that's what they read over the Christmas holidays. Today is also Alexander's birthday. So as we are birthing or being present to the birth of this book, happy birthday, Alexander, and welcome to you both. So talk to us now, if you will, please.
Thank you, Peggy. And I mean, we are so immensely filled with gratitude, Jean and Anneloes, for the epic work for unprecedented times that you are gifting us with. And yes, it's my birthday, but I tell you, Peggy said, we got the book as a working papers, and yes, and gosh, this book worked on us. And that was actually my birthing day, my birthday. Today is just a calendar date, but this was really birthing time. This is, Lynn, you call it a guidebook. I want to build on it. For me, it is a birth book. It is breathtaking in its scope. It is enlightening in its depths, and it's uplifting in its message. And I can't help, when I read the book, I saw two huge cosmic spiders weaving and weaving and weaving not only all the rich wisdom, the science and the sacred wisdom of humanity together, but also weaving a gripping story, weaving future learning, weaving humor, and weaving play into a magnificent masterpiece. So this is the time for the birth of a new myth. I wouldn't call it a creation myth. I would call it a co-creation myth. The birth of a co-creation myth. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts here from Home for Humanity.
I'll go right on to move us along. Indeed, the very words and just riding on this extraordinary tidal wave that Peggy, you opened us up to with your sacred theater, expanded through Lynn, your words, and Jude, and involving us in the great epic play that Anneloes, you and Jean laid out for us, so that we became really a living part of that conversation, which is the secret, mystic, and mythical gift of COVID. Because just as COVID and your beautiful love dog, Habibi, brought the gift of Anneloes into your life, through you, COVID has also brought Anneloes into all of our lives, who knew and loved you, Jean, and what you've given to all of us. And COVID was a double gift, Anneloes, because it almost took you away, but it brought you back to life. And through that new life, that rinascimento, the two of you could give us the new myths that Jean has been longing to see us co-create, to see us enact, to see us sacralize, so we can re-sacralize the world that we are living in, the universe that we are a part of. And what you do and what you just did for us so magically in your, it wasn't play acting, it was sacred theater and sacred artistry come alive, is you were showing us of what, Lynn, you said about this is the time to act and not to sit back. But you showed us that the new doing that is required of us is actually a being becoming. This is the lure of becoming that you've spoken of, being activated by the two of you. We are living this conversation with you, and we are becoming that symphony, that dance of the universe that is awakening in all of us. And you are striking this match over and over. So thank you. We love you. We love what you're co-creating with us and the journeys, the portals of possibility you are gifting us with.
How remarkable, how wonderful to see your beautiful faces on this great birthday of possibility for a new vision or a refreshed vision of the possible future human and of our beautiful earth. I'm going to ask now Claire Zammit to speak, and Claire is a wonderful and dear friend, and is the founder of something beautiful called Feminine Power. And she's also the co-founder of the very important work of Evolving Wisdom. Claire, welcome.
Thank you so much, Peggy. Jean, Anneloes, congratulations. Happy birthday, Quest for Rose, the beginning of this magnificent trilogy. Everyone has shared such powerful and potent thoughts and reflections and appreciations, and I've been wondering what it is that I might add. And what I want to speak to is how I think there's so much great work that supports higher human potential. And I want to share why I see this work truly stands out as significant. I mean, Jean, you said this is the most significant thing, and I want to reflect back what I see about why. Because all of us here, all people of goodwill, we know that this is a critical moment on planet Earth and that we need to create a higher possible future. The big question is how? How do we do it? How do we do it? How do we mobilize the human spirit to collaborate and to co-create? Our current reality is an outpicturing of the beliefs and the worldviews and the ways of relating to ourselves, to each other, and the universe that are hundreds of years out of date. To be able to mobilize our collective capacity to meet this moment, we need to step into a new operating system, a new worldview. We need to reimagine who we are and why we are here, to be aligned with a much more true vision of ourselves and our place in the universe and on planet Earth. And what you have created with this work is the blueprint of this new operating system. As readers read the book and go on the journey, we are imprinted with new structures in our cognition, in our heart, in our emotion, from which new visions of ideas or creative projects or a way that enables us to show up as a presence who makes a difference in the world. This is what I see you have created with this. And I believe all of us sharing this work far and wide will do so much to ignite the highest possible future. Huge congratulations, deep acknowledgement and appreciation for the brilliance, the artistry, the care, and even more important, the potency of the catalytic nature of this work to create our future together. Thank you so much love, so much appreciation.
Thank you so much, Claire. Oh, wow. I actually felt really activated as you shared. That's just incredible. I'm so grateful for your words. And also, again, thank you so much, Rama, Alexander, Jude, Lynne, all of you. It's just, I feel like it's my birthday too. And I think Jean feels that too. So it's really, it's the birthing for all of us. And as we are talking, as you said so well, Claire, about this activation, that brings me to a very, very dear friend, Sasha Siem. And Sasha is an incredible composer, a sound alchemist. She has really mastered the frequency of sound and also how to put this into musical composition. Sasha and I got to work together with her dear friend Shani on an earth song. And the vision for the Earth Song, and we'll be launching that later in this year, was really to help unite humanity in song. And the Earth Song, the lyrics of the Earth Song feature also in the trilogy. And you will have a big surprise at book 3, where Sasha will be there in a kind of way. So Sasha, a little words to you, and then I'll start preparing the beautiful Earth song in its early stages. We're still working on that, and it's going to be voices added from Indigenous elders and people around the world and children, but you're going to be hearing a very, very special launch of the kind of primordial stages of this incredible creation. Sasha, over to you.
Thank you so much, Anneloes, and thank you all. This is such an honor to be here and to witness your words and this incredible creation. I feel grateful to have had a little glimpse of it in its discovery and its evolution, but and also to be, in a way, interwoven, thanks to the meeting with Anneloes, in the creation of the Earth Song. And we're going to share that with you now. I would have loved to have sung it, but in the integrity of the sound itself, we would like to play this nascent recording. And I've always felt in my heart a desire to use song for an awakening of this new world within humanity. And so meeting Anneloes was really a divine meeting. And I thank her so much for pulling out of me this vision into manifestation. And so we pray that this song will reach millions, if not billions, of people around the earth and remind them at a soul core level of the journey which Rose goes on. So over to you, Anneloes. Thank you.
Hear a cry, oh mother, you who have birthed us all, we now hear your call. We are rising, we're uniting, we're igniting, stoking the fire, transforming our pain with the flame of love. We are rising, we're uniting, we're igniting, stoking the fire, transforming our pain with the flame of love. We sing our world together, sing our world together, sing our world together now. We sing our world together, sing our world together, sing our world together now. Ooh, 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 hallelujah. Oh, cry, oh mother, you who loves us all, we now spread your call. We are rising, we're uniting, we're igniting, stoking the fire, transforming our pain with the flame of love. Our song to ignite our world, a world that needs a tender, loving touch. We are rising, we're uniting, we're igniting, stoking the fire, transforming our pain with the flame of love. Sing our world together, sing our world together, sing our world together now. We sing our world together, sing our world together, sing our world together now. Ooh, 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 hallelujah. Sing right together, sing right together, sing right together now. We sing right together, sing right together, sing right together now. Ooh, 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 ooh,
Thank you so much, Sasha. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful song. Thank you so much. And now it is my enormous pleasure to introduce two of my closest friends who I have known, well, 50 years, and who many of you know of, David Feinstein and Donna Eden. I mean, together, both separately and together, they have created literally the basis, the psychophysical basis for the reconstruction and for the, if you will, the evolution of the body-mind system, just way beyond anything that was expected or even thought to be possible. I owe a lot of my seeming current state of health and well-being to what they have devised, both on the psychophysical level, but also David has joined me in the studying of the power of myth and symbol, as well as with his glorious wife, Donna, really creating new pathways of possibility. Remember, I talked about that little dot, that which is within us and is ready to bloom, rinascita, rinascimento. And Donna, David and Donna in her lifelong work has found the basis of the evolution of the body for our time. So I invite you to come forward, speak.
Well, this has been wonderful. I mean, I've loved hearing everybody speak. Peggy Rubin, I missed you. I love you. I'm so glad to see you. But everybody, it's been thrilling. And I feel so thrilled for the world that Jean, you and Anneloes have brought this book forward. I feel proud of you guys. It's like so important. It is so important. I mean, the world, of course, must evolve our consciousness now. And consciousness is energy. And of course, the entire universe is energy, and we're energy, and we are made of the stuff of stars. And I am just so thrilled about it all. I know that it is everybody's opportunity to truly lift the vibration of the planet. And so I thank you for doing this, Jean and Anneloes. Thank you.
So 50 years ago, as you said, Jean, we met waiting for an elevator. And so I've kind of had a long view of, and you know, people have said really wonderful things about you, and they're all true. But what I realized listening today is that there's a line from your book that really characterizes something that I realized Jean is a one-trick pony. For all your multiple dimensions, that your one trick is that in your book, you have the phrase, we must democratize greatness. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
You see greatness in people that don't see it in themselves. You see, for us, we went on a 3-week cruise with Jean and Peggy in 1988 through Greece, where we reenacted Odysseus's journey. It was an amazing experience. One of the things that happened, because at that point, Donna and I had never worked together. Her energy work seemed a little bit outside of physics to me. And you and Peggy created a ritual for us in the temple of Asclepius that prefigured what was going to happen, because we didn't have any idea we were going to work together. But in this ritual, it was a bringing together of our very different, professions, our very different ways of understanding the world into a unit. And as you know, we still have the statues of that we bought there, right in our bedroom. And it was like, that was a second marriage for us. That was a marriage that took us from the personal to the professional, to another level. And I couldn't be more grateful for the ways that my little self has been elevated into more, I won't say greatness, but into a larger form than how I think of myself. And that's happened consistently over the half a century that we've known each other. That happens again and again. And I've seen it happen with so many people that it's just a gift and now this latest form of the Quest of Rose that you and Anneloes have put into such a beautiful package for really inviting people into a new way of thinking, a new way of being, recognizing that within them is the patterning, the coding for the future human, and to activate that. So I just thank you. And I know everybody on this call is part of your story. So it's been wonderful to kind of watch, get a feel for that. So thank you, everybody. But thank you, Jean.
So much, dear friends. We have someone else.
Yes, we do, and I'm very privileged. I love the idea. I've heard Jean speak so often of Donna and David as her gurus. So it's lovely to see them both and to recognize the long, beautiful evolutionary power that they have brought to the world together and separately. And I'm going to have a great pleasure of introducing now Diane Williams, who is the founder of the Source of Synergy Foundation. Isn't that a beautiful way to think of it, that is synergetic? And also co-founder of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, many of whom I think are present on this celebration today, these festivities today. So Diane, please, will you talk to us now? And thank you for the work in the world and for the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peggy. It's so exciting to be here today to celebrate the launch of the Future Humans Trilogy. And a big congratulations to Jean, Anneloes, Rose Verdandi, and everyone that brought this book into form. And of course, all of the future humans, including everyone on this program and everyone tuning into this program that are manifesting into form the future possible through your vision, your creativity, and your evolutionary leadership. And I was really excited to receive my copy of the book. Seriously, just holding this powerful book and looking at its gorgeous cover designed by Denise, one can feel an activation taking place that attracts us forward to the future possible. And as I mentioned in my endorsement, I believe that without a doubt, this is one of the most important books of our catalytic time of change, because it inspires us to honor the request of the Oracle of Delphi, where I actually met Anneloes for the first time, to know thyself as a multidimensional architect of the future possible, activating forces of evolution that have the full creative potential of the cosmos within each of us. And knowing this truth about ourselves and our imaginal powers, and being equipped with all that the Future Human Trilogy gives us with, and gives the future generations with, including the essential tools and codes, keys, patterns, practices, principles, and even an amazing cosmic compass that I think your son had something to do with that, Anneloes, and so much more, as well as insights regarding our co-creative partnership with the whole of creation, including our fellow earthlings, the sentient field that connects us all, our cosmos, and our consciousness. It all helps us to step more fully into our role as future humans and together accelerate the birth of a luminous future. And this is what is needed right now to keep us alive on planet Earth. And what could be more important than that at this critical moment in time? And Rose's quest inspires us to individually and collectively take responsibility for our future destiny by transcending the limitations of our past and current human existence, so that we can become the future humans that we need to be to usher in the Renaissance, Renashita, as Jean always says, of truly monumental change and great beauty on all levels. And as Jean shared earlier, the Renaissance, the birth of the Age of Enlightenment, was filled with great beauty and vibrancy, art, music, new discoveries, and new ways of thinking. And one of the reasons why I believe this book is so powerful, we can all feel it, is the energy and intention behind its manifestation. This book came through two extraordinary light beings, Jean and Anneloes, because of their truly purity of heart. We all know them, and their hearts are just so beautiful and pure, and their intention to support humanity in co-creating the birth of a new age of enlightenment, even more beautiful than the last, filled with advanced futuristic discoveries and ways of thinking that will ensure that we survive and thrive on this planet through the cosmic keys of our future becoming. And they both know that, and I know all of us on this call and everybody tuning in really knows that more is possible. And I know that we're all grateful to them for dedicating their lives to this future possible. And luckily, we can all play our part in birthing this new age of future humans by our everyday choices that activate evolution. And one choice I want to encourage you to make, if you haven't already done so, is to invest in the Future Humans Trilogy for yourself, your friends, your local library, your local educational institution, wherever hope and inspiration is needed. It will really be one of the best investments you will ever make. So thank you so much for everybody that brought this book to us. It's really amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, man, what beautiful words, and what, thank you for your wonderful gift and for your hope and possibilities that you keep opening with such love and care. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. And I'm just going to ask us all to imagine that we do live our lives in widening circles, and the circle through the course of this time together has gotten wider and more intersections, and that all of us are somehow connected in this magical field that Lynne McTaggart writes so eloquently about, and that we are asking this universe to allow us, through our love for our earth and our fellow beings, all of them, to step up who we are and show up for what we can be. I would like to close this part of the program, Jean, by asking you to close the way you always close meetings and seminars and speeches, with your favorite lines.
From Christopher Fry's The Sleep of Prisoners. The human heart can go to the lengths of God. Dark and cold we may be, but this is no winter now. The frozen misery of centuries cracks, breaks, begins to move. The thunder is the thunder of the flood, the flow, the upstart spring. Oh, thank God, our time is now, when wrong comes up to meet us everywhere, never to leave us till we take the longest stride of soul folk ever took. Affairs are now soul-sized. The enterprise is exploration into God. Oh, what are you making for? It takes so many 1,000 years to wake. But will you wake? For pity's sake. I think you will. You have to. Anneloes, do you have closing words?
Oh, wow. I'm just humbled and incredibly grateful. It's rare I'm actually without of words. It's kind of funny, but that just tells you how deeply touched I am. I want to thank all of you so much. Peggy, also thank you so much for your incredible weaving, and the coming 30 minutes now, we're leaving the call open just for a beautiful sharing. There is one dear friend I'd like to bring on. I don't know if she's still there, Justine Page. I know it's in the middle of the night for you, but you've been so amazing in this whole process and always believing in me and in believing in this work. If you are there, I'd love to bring you on.
Of course I'm here.
There
Where
you
else would I be? It is almost 3:40 in the morning. I'm calling from Melbourne, Australia, and I am so honored to be here. And Anneloes, Jean, I would have never missed this. Thank you for calling on me. I've been just off camera and really absorbing all of this, and just sitting basking here in this joy, feeling this radiance. And Anneloes, just actually thinking back to your very first book launch in Mauritius, which was a live event many years ago, and just bringing that energy and those memories back here. I am so proud, so incredibly thrilled seeing this circle of amazing, luminous people celebrating Jean and yourself. Jean, when I first met you many years ago in San Francisco, there was only one other person who spoke the same language as you. And I thought, oh my goodness, there are two women in the world that seem to be on the same page or seem to be using the same language. How do I make them meet? How do I bring them together? It's amazing how divine timing has brought all of this together. And I just wanted to share that I've had the privilege of reading the words as they were birthed last year in an incredible time when the world just told us to stop for a moment. And we all had the time. And it was in that time, in that blessing of COVID, that Jean and Anneloes could actually spend time writing this book. And as the pages were coming, and Anneloes and Jean were sharing them with me, I was probably the guinea pig. There is truly something that not just activates and awakens, but there's a wisdom that that the remembering starts happening. As I was reading these words and going through my own challenges and in that difficult time, truly the words just alleviated all the pressures and all the stress, because you melt into the wisdom that comes through those pages, and the remembering that we all begin to experience. This is really what's needed to become future human. So thank you both, Jean and Anneloes, for these beautiful, beautiful words and documenting them, because this is not just a book for us. This is a book I will be giving to my girls. This is the book for the future generations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Really nice. I also want to thank two other, very precious people, my partner Kurt Barnes and Constance Buffalo, because Kurt is a pillar for me, and I know Constance is a pillar for Jean, and I know that in your own ways, both of you have really been holding the integrity of all of this work and your love for both of us. So also our deepest gratitude to both of you. Jean,
thank you so much, galactic friends. I feel like what you two have done is you've taken a medium that is a bit stuck in the old paradigm. Books are not where we normally think of the energy as happening right now. But what you've done with this book, by including not only words and deeply thought philosophy, but also the exercises, the visualizations, and the design codings that Anneloes was just referring to, is you have made a book that is a transmission. So someone who's reading it doesn't just read words going into the left side of our brain and being processed that way, but has an experience of living into the future human. So I congratulate you both, you precious, magnificent souls, on bringing forth this, it's more than a guidebook. It's really a pathway into the new paradigm. Thank you so much. We love you.
As we're coming now really to the completion, I know that many of you are wondering what is next. So yes, read the book. Let us know how you feel, what you're experiencing with this. See if you can form also your own groups and communities of practice, but come and also work with us for these 5 weeks, where we're going to go in depth through the Catalyst course, which is going to be hosted by Dream Tending. By subscribing to our YouTube channel, this is where we're posting every time we're giving a talk, or we feel there is, some beautiful sharing. We just put it there so that everyone can enjoy that. So that's another way to really stay in touch. And in that spirit, most importantly, you are our inspiration. You may not realize this, but as Jean and I were working on the book, we were imagining all of you reading it. And we were wondering, what is it that you would want to read? You really are also part of our inspiration. And this is where it is really a community. We really are a community. Incredible time that is bringing us together. So our deepest, deepest thanks to every one of you, and also all of our incredible friends and family who've been supporting us. All our love. Thank you so much.
Amelia, tutte famiglia.
Just unmute yourself so we can say goodbye till we meet again.
Oh, hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much.